Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for passing by. Thank you so much for subscribing. And thank you very much for watching my videos. You are greatly appreciated. Now, so many persons have been speaking out on Mavado. Dancehall artist Mavado was just released his song Big Guns, and they're saying that he's taking shots at Alkaline. Alkaline has been on stage, and Alkaline has been saying that some people are groupies and all of this. Persons are saying that Alkaline is talking about Mavado because Mavado has been in the studio and linking with dancehall artist Vybz Kartel. And to the crowd and to the mass of the people, they believe that there's something brewing between them. They're no longer friends, they're falling out, and all of that. But I'm just so over the entire thing. For me, I'm at a crossroad, and I'm either with this thing when it comes to dancehall and keeping the spirit of dancehall, knowing that it's partly competitive and it's also based on talent and stuff like that, or I'm just not with it at all. So I'm basically at a crossroad. I'll give you guys that. And my reason for saying that is that everything has its time and place, and everything has its season. A time for so many things under the sun, right? And I believe that dancehall has run its course when it comes to clash, when it comes to certain things. I believe that there is a time for certain things, and when it's over and done with, I think the music needs to evolve. I think the music needs to grow. I think artists and stakeholders, producers, record labels, managers, promoters, all the stakeholders, investors, all these persons who are part of the dancehall sector, I think they strongly should move towards the evolution of dancehall and move towards persons having an interest in buying dancehall music more so than the hype and the clout and immediate attention, immediate all these type of things that are going around that are major distraction or strategies in order to promote something or to push something forward. I believe that it's time to move forward. It's time to be forward thinking. It's time to have a means and have a measure or a module to follow that will guide the growth of dancehall. The days when, okay, someone break out and they're just doing things and saying things on a mic, I think it has run its course because what we're seeing so far are so many artists coming in. Guys, there's a pattern and I'm following it. Remember that I do not make jottings. It's just what comes to my mind, I speak. So it will appear as if I'm going off on a tangent, but you will always see the road, the trod, and then you will see then you once you follow it, you will see the point that I'm trying to make. What we have seen are artists coming out of the woodwork and they're just putting out music, and it's based on solely controversy. It's based on wild and freaky lifestyle, and that's just about it. It's also about degradation, female degradation, that is, and disrespecting of women. And that has been the nature of dancehall in recent years. And it's, many persons have complained about it and spoke out against it, including myself. However, when there isn't a pattern or there isn't a module that was designed or a structure that was designed for artists to follow, and then you have a situation where payola is involved, where you're paying your way to getting a break in the music, and you have to find your own this, you have to find your own that, you basically have to find your own everything and buy your way through. When the artist gets their break, there isn't much that you can tell them because nobody really contribute to the breaking out of an artist. Nobody really contribute to the establishment of an artist. Yes, there are persons who are willfully there to be your manager, to be your representative. However, these are hired individual. The artists themselves have to come up with money from whichever source or wherever in order to fund their career. And that's where the issue lies. And I think, like I said, stakeholders and persons who are involved, not just the artists, I think they should move away from the hype, the clout, doing things to get attention, doing things for a show that's coming up, doing things for a music video that's coming up, and try to find ways and be more strategic and find ways in which they can push the sales of dancehall and push people towards buying music more so, rather than an instant gratification and a show here and a hype show there. And then when it boils down, then less bookings for the artist. He just got a moment of clout and then he has a show coming up and that's it for them. And my reason for saying this is that the New Rules Festival is out, and yes, they want to keep their names they want to keep their names trending. I'm sorry, they want the cloud going, and so yes, it will be a great moment. Vybz Kartel is now out. He's around Mavado, Mavado around Vybz Kartel, and so it keeps their name circulating in the algorithm and stuff like that. So it boosts trend, it boosts clout. Now Alkaline coming up, he has his new rules, and if there is the beef, an anecdotal beef of which there isn't much evidence of. You understand? And so, if such is even the case, it would be for Cloud to promote the new rules and to promote a show that Mavado has coming up. And I'm saying that it's full time that artists themselves move away from that. The evolution is not just one, it has to be a compiled effort or combination effort or pooling of effort by all persons who are involved in the dancehall and entertainment space. If you want the thing to be respected, you first have to respect it. You first have to respect your craft, respect your talent, and respect what you are actually doing. Now, it's okay because competition is good. We get that. Competition is really good. And sometimes controversies also helps to push the career and the music of an artist and to keep them circulating once again in the algorithm. But I strongly believe that certain times things have lost its savor. It is all tired through, and it's over and done with, and that type of method is just no longer serving its purpose. And I strongly believe that there has to be better strategy going forward. And the focus should be on getting persons or people or the wider world in order to listen, not only dancehall music, to listen it, but also to purchase the music. And I think that's where the issue lies. There isn't much focus on purchasing the music. There isn't much focus on giving the artist the career, to the paramount career that they would want, where they're getting endorsement, they're getting promotions, they're doing this, they're doing that. Yes, we know that there's a background of the whole homophobic thing and this and that and yada, yada, yada. Nobody's saying that you have to support certain people's lifestyle or sexual lifestyle, but the argument was not to preach against unaliving people based on their sexual orientation of liking the same sex. That argument is over and done with. We don't see artists going about that life anymore or about that message, especially when it comes to their music. They're more so focusing on doing what they're doing. But I'm saying that there needs to be a growth, there needs to be some sort of forward attempt when it comes to dancehall music. And I think the goal and the main objective should be getting the wider world to not only listen, but also purchase the music, right? So this whole thing about Alkaline versus Mavado, and Alkaline is a child for Mavado, and Mavado is a giant, and we get that. All these things, and this is what happens. That the mentality of pinning people against each other and pinning, especially the black on black, pinning them against each other when it comes to entertainment, and then violence is included and all these type of things. Aren't you guys tired of it? Don't you want to move forward? Don't you want to elevate yourself? Don't you want to be above the situation at all time? Don't you want to come to a point wherein you realize that, listen, there is more to life and there's more to entertainment than having this rough, rugged path that you always have to trod, that you always feel that you must fight against someone, you must tear them down, you must have a violent competition, you must have this and that in place in order for you to cement yourself as a giant. Aren't you guys really just tired of it? Like, for every generation come, we have seen it. Yes, we get it. But I think that we should move forward. And if the music isn't selling, then clearly what you are doing is not the right thing. Because I'm thinking the main objective is to put money in your pocket and for the music to have a longevity, not for it to die out and go out into the abyss. And so I would think that at some point in time, you're just going to put it to rest. you're just going to put it to rest. If you and such artist, you don't have to be friends, but you don't have to be sworn enemies. And if you and that individual simply aren't getting along, I think that's where it should be. Like if you're going to have a clash, for example, there is like a serious clash, I think it should be left in the music. However, that's not the reality and that's not the culture of dancehall or the culture of Jamaican space. Whenever it is that it's in music, it normally trickles over into the society. It normally trickles over into at-risk community where people are pinning themselves against each other, and it turns into physical altercation and persons are taking side, and then you're promoting gang lifestyle and all these type of things, and we do not want that in the society. The same way how you find the government is moving the society forward, wherein they're tackling crime, they're cutting off the head of the snakes in every area and in every corner in order to suppress crime. I think it's the same thing that should be done in the music, and it's following. And I think that's the objective. Yes, there's freedom of speech, freedom of this, freedom of that. But persons have to remember that in freedom of delivering your content or your musical content, it comes with specific obligation and stipulation. There are things that you have to adhere to. So I'm thinking that when it comes to the music, there needs to be stipulation in order to move forward because you want the music to sell. I get the competition part and I do support it because competition is good because it helps to build, I'm sorry, not only the artist as an individual, but also the arch nemesis or the arch rival. And so it would work. However, persons aren't really about business. And because they really aren't about business, it leaves not only there, but it goes further into physical crime and violence in a society. And that we don't want. And we don't want people secretly promoting gangs and all these type of things. The society is doing away with that. And I think the music should follow pursuit. So it's good that, you know, people want to do their music. People want to say what they want to say. They want to take jabs at each other, subliminal attacks, this and that and the third. But I'm thinking that at this point, when it comes to music, especially the dancehall scene, the main focus should be on getting sales. The main focus should be on having a longevity in dancehall and for dancehall itself to be more lasting. But it has to evolve. It has to move forward. There has to be some growth. There has to be changes. So I'm not here if you guys thought my message was about bashing this artist, that artist. No, I'm not. If you thought that it was about sticking up or supporting this artist and speaking about the career of others, I think so many vloggers are out there doing it. Whether I agree with them or disagree with them, that's another subject for another day. I think so many persons have said so much and much more when it comes to that. The artist's lifestyle, their lyrical content, and you understand me. I'm just not here for it anymore. What more do these people have to prove? Mavado himself have clashed Vybz Kartel. Vybz Kartel have clashed Mavado. Alkaline have clashed so many persons. And if you're going to come and diminish the artist's work and craft and saying that he's nowhere near this person or that person, then clearly you're the one who has a problem. Because I'm sure you do not have the talent that that artists have, and you don't have the scribe, and you don't have the wits. The man has proven himself repeatedly, and I've had new ways of clashing with persons when it comes to recording the music. And so there's nothing left to prove, basically. Persons are trying to get Masicka out there to clash Alkaline. Masicka has no interest in doing that. Clearly, the guy is about his music and is about his life. I'm not sure if his mind will change. Persons have been saying that for so many years, wanting them to clash each other. And you've seen that Masicka is not about that life. Alkaline is not about it. He's about focusing on his private life. And Masicka is doing the same. Now, if their mind change in the future, that's another story. We don't know. But for now, it's obvious that these artists are about their life, about making their money and just doing what they're... Why can't you guys just respect the atmosphere of it and ask for more content out, ask for more music videos, ask for more promotion, more interviews, so you can hear them, you can see them, you can get a one-on-one with them, understand how they, you know, things that they enjoy doing in their spare time. Why can't you guys call for that and enjoy the atmosphere of their talent and their craft and what they're putting out, rather than constantly wanting blood? It's like you guys are so hungry. I'm so sick and tired of the mentality of wanting the black on black crime to go ahead because it feeds your ego and makes you feel good about yourself. And you get views and likes and generate all these type of attention on yourself vicariously through artists who are out there trying to make bread, who are out there, they have children. A lot of them are fathers, they have children, and they're trying to start a life for themselves. Accept the growth and maturity of artists also. You guys come and say that, okay, there lies a macadam who's too old, she should not be doing this type of music. There lies this female artist who should retire. You want to retire women when it comes to dancehall. You want to retire the females. You're not considering that they have children to feed, they have bills. You understand me? They have responsibilities, and they also have their talent that they continuously want to showcase. But you guys want to retire them early. But when it comes to the male artists, you constantly want these guys to go at each other, kill each other lyrically in studios and all these type of things. And you know that it doesn't stop in the studios because persons take side. A lot of it is to promote gang and all these type of things. And you see where the society is doing away with it. So why are you guys walking 10 steps back to push something that the artists themselves more than likely do not have an interest in doing? The supporters and the fans of music have to move forward also. The onus and the responsibility is not only on the artists and stakeholders, it's also on fans who support the music. You have to have a mindset where you want to move forward. If you're going through a depression or something like that, there are persons that you can speak to. Like I said, my email address is out there. You can reach out to me. We can have a one-on-one. I've done counseling for persons. I've assisted a lot of persons in getting by. You understand me? Sometimes it's day by day because they'll feel good this moment. They will feel bad the next. And so you have to move on from it. You have to move on from whatever it is that you're going through in life and seeking these artists to feed you what you need. I remember when we studied, it's not literature, it was music in Renaissance era in Europe. And when you find the Beethoven and all Mozart, you find the Beethoven, and all these persons that were dying out and stuff like that. They told stories in their art, their visual art. They told stories in their musical art and stuff like that. And when all of them were dying out, a lot of persons were committing suicide. They were taking their own life because they invested so much emotionally, mentally into these artists, into these people out there, because their life was just so mundane. They had so much going through, and it's like they could not escape it. And so their escape route was in the visual art that they saw, the stories that they saw, playwriting, literature in Renaissance, that is, and also in music. And when a lot of these persons started dying, a lot of persons started taking their own life because it was just too much for them. They couldn't believe that their artists were passed on. There wasn't any more that they were going to get from that source. And so I understand what depression is. The society is very depressing because a lot of people are going through a lot of things, whether they are okay financially or not. They are going through a lot. And sometimes you believe that there's nobody there for you and you have reached the end of your rope and you're going through so many things, especially when it comes to relationship, when it comes to friends, when it comes to your working environment, when it comes to your finance, not being able to sustain yourself, not being able to raise your standard of living, not be able to accomplish your daily goals or your personal goal, raise your children, how you would love to take care of yourself, how you would love to. So a lot of persons are going through a lot and they have a serious time coping. And because of such, they will look to these type of artists in order to feed what they're going through. In order to get by each day. And so it comes like a release therapy or relaxed therapy for them. But you have to understand that the artists are human beings and sometimes they want to close that chapter in their life. And you can see that in the nature of the music, especially those who you guys enjoy growing on so much, from the Vybz Kartel to the Mavado, the Alkaline, the Masicka. A lot of times the path that they have took to get the breakout that they had in music or have in music, because they all are current and present, they want to close that chapter and move forward. They probably just want to live a life where it's relaxing for them. They put out some good music that's enjoying for you and you like it that way, for you to grow with them. And it's okay. It's okay. That's why I said there has to be alternate measures. There are also persons out there who are, like I said, counselors who you can communicate with, who you can talk to. And so you have to look to them. You can't just put all your emotion into the art, into the artist's craft. And then when they decide to advance or move forward from the message that they were sending, then it creates an unease for you. And you're fighting tooth and nail to see a clash. You're fighting tooth and nail to see blood. You're fighting tooth and nail to see them in the same nature of when they broke out. And that moment is just not coming. You understand? So I think that, like I said, dancehall music and the space where it's at, I think it should be, the main goal should be getting music to sell at this point. artists getting endorsement. And it's great for Jamaica in and of itself, because many persons out there will not only have an interest in pursuing music, but also have an interest in getting endorsement. So, you can, get richer, grow the island financially. Persons can actually see their growth financially. You understand me? And it's a beautiful thing. So I think that's something that we all need to look into, for those who love dancehall music and for those who are part of the entertainment scene and stakeholders. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your day, and may God bless you. Bye bye.